I'm Garrett Dixon.
I'm Robin. These are our children, Chandler, Jane, and Cash.
And we're from Lee County.
Getting to see the joy in Chandler Jane's eyes when she sees the tractor, that is really special. And I think it's going to be definitely something that I am going to be excited as Cash grows up too, and being able to send them with Dad to go plant cotton or whatever it is.
At a little over 2, Chandler Jane can kind of tell what fields are cotton fields and what fields are peanut fields. Other than growing up out here, you wouldn't find kids that young that are able to pick up on things like that. Watching them run in a field, knowing that, you know, I've got pictures of me in the same field, you know, when I can barely see above the cotton plants with my grandfather. You know, not many families have that legacy.
In 2014, Garrett started farming by bringing some of his maternal grandfather's land in Salem back into production.
I planted soybeans my first year, and nobody does that down here, really. So, but I did that trying to minimize the amount of money that I had to borrow for that first crop, because soybeans were cheaper to grow, but they burn up and you know, didn't yield anything.
Lesson learned. He now grows primarily cotton and peanuts, and he's added 2 irrigation pivots. Even though farming has its share of tough learned lessons, Garrett has always preferred fields over classrooms.
I remember he was excited about going to school, and then kindergarten, until he realized that that meant Pawpaw could not just come pick him up anytime during the day and take him somewhere.
We had a class together. We took genetics. He never went to class. I was always there. He, I think, went like 3 times.
Truancy in the sciences did not dampen Garrett's love of FFA, where he forged an award-winning legacy at Smith Station High School, the same institution where Robin now teaches ag.
My students have no idea about agriculture, especially where my school is. It's a little urban, and so they are not familiar with it. And so being able to, you know, instill in my students, like, these farmers are doing what's best for you, what's safest for the environment. I think that's kind of the biggest thing, because there's so much misconception out there.
Out of the classroom and back in Garrett's comfort zone, he's teaching his family members.
He's pulled us all in, learning different jobs. You know, I'm 66, and this year I was taught to rake hay. So that's been kind of exciting, learning something new and knowing that I'm helping. You know, we all want to help our kids.
In a decade of farming, Garrett has already battled droughts, tough economics, a hurricane, and a tornado.
I don't know if I ever worried when my dad planted a crop, and now I'm a little more aware. Like, we really need rain. He has a lot of support here, but really it's all on him.
Sometimes you don't always know what to do. And so one thing that I've been praying through for over the last year is to know what the next right step is. And whether that's with your family, or whether your walk with Christ, your work, or your farm, you know, having clarity and peace of mind as to what the next right step is.
And with enough right steps, Dixon Farms will be around for generations to come.
We've been together since he started farming again, and so there's been so much growth, and that is amazing to see. I had no idea that that was going to be my life, but I'm really glad. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. I love living on the farm.
There's a certain satisfaction that comes with growing a crop, and I do think that creation points us to our Creator, and I'm reminded of that every morning, and I feel very special that I'm blessed and have the opportunity to do it another year.
I'm Whit Lovelady.
And I'm Amanda, and these are our children, John, Luke, and Anna Grace.
And we are from Talladega County.
My dad, he was a farmer, and that is where my love started for farming. We were a farming family, and I knew from at a young age I wanted that for the rest of my life. I wanted that for my children.
What I live and breathe for is for those young'uns to be able to have a better start if they want to farm. They have an opportunity to come back.
Whit began working on his dream of cattle farming when he and Amanda were students at Auburn University.
Start out with 10 head, and it had 11 calves. One of them were a set of twins. My granddad told me, he said, you got to go on and chalk that down because you'll never have 110% calving again in your life, and I haven't. So he was correct about that.
Whit and Amanda married in 2015 and set to work establishing their farm in the foothills of the Appalachians.
I had no idea there's mountains in Alabama. Like, I'm a flatland girl. Like, I'm from Watauga County. And so that was just like really eye-opening. And I was like, that is so cool and so beautiful.
Whit and Amanda bought the land from his grandfather, who passed away in 2018.
When Dad was sick for so long, almost 30 years, in and out, you know, it grew up over 30 foot of hedges and weeds, and he'd say, oh, when I get to feeling better. In other words, he didn't want anybody touching it. He wanted to do it.
We saved, we've cleared a pile of land. We bought several different local herds of cattle, and then we bought the Charolais cattle. We're really full-time hay also, and full-time cattle. We'll probably touch 10,000 rolls of hay this year.
As a true family farm, Whit's brother Grant also works full-time on the land. And if the hay fields, 2 purebred herds, and a commercial herd weren't enough to keep them busy, the Loveladies also sell freezer beef and pork under the farm name Cedar Roost Ranch.
Our kids understand, even as young as they are. Anna Grace knows that her pig is a pretty cute little old pig, but that's what we eat. You know, that's part of our business. Calves are cute, but you know, our business is cattle. So we're raising cattle for beef production because beef production is what we do.
With a well-established farm, their next building project will fulfill another lifelong dream of Whit's.
He said, now I'm telling you, I've got a vision for this place. He said, this is going to be a beautiful house spot, and I've always wanted to build my house here. But it was just grown up privet hedges and briars and pine trees. And now it's like one of our most favorite spots on the farm. And that's where we're building our house and where we go to sit and think. And our kids love playing over there. And we've always called that place home.
It's just the next step in creating all they've ever wished for.
I remember 10 years ago, Whit and I starting out and having these big, big dreams. And to me, it seemed like they were almost impossible. But the Lord is good, and He has provided every way, every direction that we have taken.
My granddad used to say, if you'll do your part, the good Lord will do His part. So you get up, you do your part of it, and do the work and blood, sweat, and tears, and He'll do His part.
As a mom, you want your children to grow up and be healthy, strong, find what they truly love, and hopefully find someone that loved the same things. Well, he did. When my dad passed away, he said, Mom, I don't want to be a rich man. I just want to be a happy one like Papa. So he is, and I love everything about it.
I'm Drew Winland.
And I'm Lauren, and these are our boys, Mills, Smith, and Rhett.
And we're from Watauga County.
Farming is just, if you want to make it a family-oriented job, it really can be.
We love to go down to the creek and throw rocks. We do that all the time. We love to jump on the hay bales by the house, and they check the crops.
Drew and Lauren are building their life together in Otaugaville, the town of their almost Hallmark Channel-worthy introduction.
My friend Amanda Lovelady had brought me out to her farm in Otaugaville, and she said, my friends are gonna come over, we're gonna pile in the truck and go hunt armadillos.
And I did happen to snag a possum by the tail that day. I was showing off some of my country moves.
You can't forget the possum experience. But we later met again. It was suggested that I invite him to a sorority formal, and so I did, and he accepted, and the rest is history.
Married in 2017, the farm was the site of another once-in-a-lifetime moment in April 2024, when baby Rhett came into the world.
We had a very unexpected home delivery. Drew stepped to the plate with his medical knowledge in the bovine category of birth, and he caught the baby. The annoying thing is Drew has made so many comparisons to my pregnancy and delivery to cows, and he has now hilariously delivered my calf.
Of course, Lauren's knowledge as a nurse practitioner didn't hurt. Originally from Pelham, farm living has been an eye-opening experience for her.
Before I was exposed to the farm, I thought that farming was rather simple. The plants have sunlight and hopefully rain, and they grow. But that's actually not it at all.
Drew and his brother Dan are the 5th generation of Winlands at Autauga Farming Company. They work alongside their dad, Andy.
Having a younger generation that sees things in a new way, that wants to approach things differently, has been very good for us. And it was their ideas to do this, expansion of the hay side of things.
My granddad, he was a details man, but I think that he was always very open-minded to think that the best of our ability today is not the same as the best of our ability tomorrow.
To the best of his abilities, Drew handles crop management as well as soil fertility for pastures and hayland.
At first, we started using technology to try to make everything level and average, but then there's like external factors that we can't compete with that may limit the yield or kind of push an area of the field up in yield. And so we can also take advantage of that and kind of invest less money in these weak places and more money in the good places.
Investing in each and every acre to preserve the family farming tradition.
I really appreciate the opportunity to get to work with my family. We have our own areas that we're kind of specialize in, but we also respect each other enough to hear any constructive criticism.
It's humbling to know that there's this life's work and legacy that's got to be maintained and carried on, and although in totally different times, totally different situations, very different mindsets. So we're very fortunate to have young people that are interested.
When he came back to the farm in 2016, he came with such an attitude of thankfulness for what his father, his grandfather, and other generations had done before him. And I think because of that, he also comes to this opportunity with the desire to honor that legacy